There's a place in Milwaukee where no one stays for long. Tenants come and go, some after just a few nights. The rent is cheap, the walls are thin, and behind one locked door is a secret no one talks about. This is the story of a man who thought he found a bargain. But what he really found was something that refuses to let go. In November 2021, James Ellis moved into a one-bedroom apartment in a rundown building in Milwaukee. He'd just gone through a tough breakup and needed a place, fast. The landlord barely said a word. Just handed him the keys and mentioned, "Last guy left real sudden." The rent was cheap. Too cheap. The first night, James noticed a faint burnt smell, like old smoke, but there was no source. He checked the oven, the walls, even the hallway. Nothing. Then came the flickering lights. Always in the bathroom and bedroom, never the kitchen. Once, while brushing his teeth, the light blinked off for just a second, and in the mirror, he swore he saw someone standing behind him. A week later, he discovered the closet. It was locked tight, and the landlord had no key. "Don't worry about it," he said. "It's just storage." But James couldn't let it go. One night, he heard a woman crying. Clear as day. It sounded like it was coming from inside the walls. Or the closet. James pried up a floorboard near the heater to check for wiring issues, and found a note, yellowed and torn. It said, "It wasn't an accident. He locked me in here. Please don't let him lie." When James asked around, a neighbor told him the truth. There was a fire 2 years earlier. A young woman died, burned alive in the unit James was now renting. The landlord claimed she had been smoking in bed. But others say she was locked in that closet. James finally broke it open. Inside, he found a burned journal, stuck between wall panels. The last entry, "I hear him. He won't let me leave. If someone finds this, help me." That night, the crying returned. But this time it turned into screaming. Furniture shook. Every light in the apartment died. Then, a whisper in his ear, "You opened the door. Now you stay." James ran. Left everything behind. But 2 weeks later, his friend received a voicemail from his number. Just static. And a faint voice, "Don't go, you're mine now." They never found James again. His apartment was rented out a month later. We trust our homes to protect us. But what if the walls remember? What if something, or someone, never left?
Imagine going to sleep every night, thinking you're alone. But someone is quietly living above you, creeping through your home when you're not looking.
This is not a horror movie, this is a real story. And tonight, I'll tell you how a man discovered the nightmare living inside his own house. This story happened in 2008, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A man named Jeremy lived alone in a quiet house. He wasn't the kind of person who believed in ghosts or scary stories. But something was happening in his home. It started small. Some food missing from the fridge. A carton of juice lower than he remembered. A sandwich he thought he didn't eat. At first, he thought he was just tired, maybe forgetting. But it kept happening. He started noticing the TV was on when he came home. The bathroom light was left on. Doors he knew he closed were now open. Then one night, as he lay in bed, he heard a sound. Not outside. Above him. In the attic. But when he checked, nothing. Finally, to prove he wasn't crazy, he set up a small hidden camera in the living room before leaving for work. What he saw would change his life forever. The footage showed, in the middle of the night, a woman crawling out of the vent in the ceiling. She wasn't breaking in. She wasn't sneaking through windows. She had been living in his attic for almost an entire year. She would crawl down when he was at work, eat his food, use his bathroom, watch TV, and sometimes she would stand next to his bed and just watch him sleep. When police arrested her, she confessed. She said she had no home, and one day, months ago, she found the attic hatch unlocked. So she climbed in and never left. Jeremy thought he was safe, but the whole time, someone was quietly living inside his home. This is not a ghost story, this is real, and it's a reminder. Sometimes the scariest thing isn't what's outside your home, it's what's already inside.